Another frustrating week in Giants baseball. Is it time to hit the panic button, or are brighter days ahead? Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Buster and the Giants. I'm your host, Jonah Johnson, a freelance video producer and editor, and a die-hard San Francisco Giants fan. In today's video, we're going to be recapping what happened in Giants baseball this past week, from the Padres series to the Mets series, as well as looking ahead to the Phillies who come into town for a 3-game set. Through the first 10 games of the season, the Giants are 3-7 overall with a 1-6 record at home. They started the week off strong, winning the first 2 games against the Padres and dropping the third game before returning home to face the Mets. They won the first game against the Mets pretty handedly, winning 7-2, but then the next 3 games, well, the box scores speak for themselves. In the second game of the series, the Giants lost 10-3 to the Mets. In the third game of the series, the Giants didn't score a single run, losing 9-0. And in the fourth and final game of the Mets series, they lost 5-2. Overall, it was a dreadful offense paired with several defensive miscues which lost them the series against the Mets. It's a hard team to root for right now, especially when some of our top hitters aren't producing at the level that they should be, which we'll get into right now as we go over this week's lowlights. This week, Rafael Devers worked 4 walks, racked up 5 hits, and struck out 8 times. We saw Rafi get his first home run of the season on Thursday night against the Mets when he hit a home run over into left center field that just got over the wall. Not often do we see a lefty go to opposite left center field on a cold, windy night in San Francisco. To me, this was an impressive showcase of power, but unfortunately, Rafi has not been on one of his hot streaks yet. There's still plenty of season to go. We're only 10 games into the season, so I'm not too worried just yet. He's a proven all-star. He's only going to get better as the season goes along, but it's something I'm keeping my eye on. Another low light in regards to player production I want to talk about is Heliot Ramos. I talked about him highly last week when he racked up some solid hits against the Yankees and played good defensively. However, this last week against the Padres and the Mets, he struck out 9 times, and that's what's becoming a big concern for me. So far this season, Ramos has struck out 14 times and has worked 2 walks. I think he needs to capitalize on working his counts and seeing more pitches. However, I do feel kind of weird pointing the finger at him for having so many strikeouts when majority of the team has just as much, if not more, strikeouts than he does. You have Adames with 13 on the season, Harrison Bader with 12, Rafael Devers with 12, then followed by Jung-Hoo Lee with 8. We're going to hit the pause button for now on all the negativity and look at some highlights that happened over this past week. I thought Logan Webb looked really good this past week. On Tuesday against the Padres, he looked good in the first 2 innings. In the third, a couple of walks would cost him and allowed the Padres to get within 1 run of the Giants' lead, making it 4-3. After that, Webb looked good. He locked in, didn't allow a single run after that, threw a total of 104 pitches and 6 innings pitched. The 4 walks in that game are a little bit of a head scratcher, but a win is a win. And yesterday, in the final game of the series against the Mets, Webb looked great. He gave up 7 hits but only allowed 1 earned run, struck out 3 batters and walked 1, and his strike percentage was a lot higher than his first 2 outings of the season, throwing a total of 92 pitches and landing 61 of them for strikes. However, Webb's start was wasted on poor offensive production and a bullpen that gave up 4 runs in the 8th inning, ultimately giving the Mets the win 5-2. And unfortunately, those are really the only highlights from this last week. They played 7 games in a row, so I can only imagine that they're pretty gassed. And they have 3 more games against the Phillies before they're granted an off day before heading to Baltimore. Unfortunately, defensive blunders, a weak bullpen, and an offense that doesn't come up in big moments isn't going to win you a lot of games. Now again, I could go on and complain all day about how rough the Giants look. But they're only 10 games into the season. There's 162 to play. There's no time to hit the panic button just yet. In my eyes, I say let's give it 1 more week until we're really evaluating this team. For right now, these are just little chapters in the Giants' 2026 season. There's no reason to finish writing the book just yet. One guy I want to shine some light on, who isn't currently on the big league roster, is a guy by the name Bryce Eldridge. In 44 plate appearances at AAA Sacramento, the 21-year-old has a 281 batting average with an 850 OPS. In that time, he's hit 3 doubles, knocked in 3 runs, he's walked 9 times, and struck out 13. Right now, his strikeout percentage sits just below 30%. I know this has a lot of people worried that he's going to strike out a lot more at the big league level. I think with time and more reps at the big league level, that strikeout percentage won't be as glaring. But at the same time, you see a lot of big league power hitters strike out at a high clip. For example, another one of the league's top power hitters, Kyle Schwarber, also strikes out at a high clip. Over the last 5 seasons, it's been a strikeout percentage of around 27 for Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, he strikes out a bunch, but wouldn't you want Kyle Schwarber on this team? My point is, yes, Eldridge does strike out a lot, but his power potential is something that we can't ignore right now, especially in a time that we've been having defensive miscues at first base. Wouldn't you rather have a behemoth of a 21-year-old crushing balls into McCovey Cove, standing at 6'7", guarding first base? I know I would. Look, the Yankee series, the Padres series, and the Mets series, they're all behind us. All we can do is look forward to what's to come. Like I said before, the Giants kick off a 3-game set against the Phillies as they come into town on Monday night. On Monday night, it'll be Adrian Hauser against the rookie Andrew Painter. On Tuesday night, it'll be Robbie Ray against Christopher Sanchez. And on Wednesday afternoon, it'll be Tyler Mahle versus Aaron Nola. I gotta be honest, it's always scary when the Phillies come to town. They have a damn good lineup. Will the Giants' offense prevail? It's to be seen. I'm not going to hit the eject button just yet. I'll be rooting for the Giants all week long. What did you think of the Giants this past week? What do you expect of them this upcoming week? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for taking the time to watch my 3rd video on this channel. Be fair, be kind, and as always, go Giants. I'll see you next week.